I fell in love with the New York Mets when I was in 7th grade and the other kids were wearing Yankees hats. That was also the year the Mets won their first World Series, and that makes a fan for life. So when people ask if we named our daughter after the Mets' old stadium, I tell them no, we only spell it the same way. It was actually my wife who came up with the name, I just changed the letters. Shay asked for tickets to opening day for her 15th birthday. So on March 31st, we rode a train through a spring snowstorm to see the Mets start the season. On opening day, everyone's undefeated and the future seems bright, even for a team that's been rebuilding since 1986. That day was cold at Citi Field, where the Mets call home these days, and the Mets snatched defeat from the jaws of victory with a typical late-inning collapse. But Shay loved the game, even if they had souvenirs with her sister's name, but none with hers. And she loved the ride on the 7 train back to the city. And when our departure from Penn Station was called, we went down to the platform and found a couple of seats. It turned out to be the wrong train, bound for Washington instead of Boston. We got off in Newark, caught the next ride back, and arrived just in time to miss the last run in the right direction. So we got a hotel, went to the top of the Empire State Building, and made it home in the morning. This is a story about something I learned. First, I learned not to believe what you think you hear on the PA in Penn Station, and that the guy checking tickets at the gate isn't reading the destination. And if you board a train in New York City surrounded by folks wearing Washington gear, you might not be headed for Boston. And the double checking is always good. What day does this session end? But I also learned that my daughter is a pretty cool kid. She can be exasperating, frustrating, and crazy-making, but she's also the rarest of all things, a true-born New York Mets fan. And even though her name is spelt like the Mets' old stadium, Shay and I will always have Citi Field.